Yo, what is going on, guys? We are finally back for another tier list. Before we get into this one, I want to start off with, first of all, an apology because I said that I would be updating the tier list every single month on the channel, and at the end of last year, I was slacking on the final month of December. I did not post an update to the tier list. So to make up for that, I've been working really hard on this tier list to get this out to you guys at the start of 2023, and this is a complete overhaul. So to make up for, my blunder last month, my slacking, I've put a lot of work into this one, and I've pretty much revamped the entire tier list. I've kind of redone a lot of it as well. I've added symbols here, which we can see. And the reason I did that is because I just wanted something new and fresh. And the last tier list, I feel like, it was in a really good spot because of you guys. A lot of you guys' help, feedback on the previous tier list. I read all the comments. On the last one, there's 225 comments. I just finished reading through all of them. And even though this is a new tier list, I still did incorporate a lot of the feedback into some of the rankings here. And which I will continue to do for the next 11 months. That's 11 more tier list videos that I'm going to be uploading this year. And each one of those, we're going to be updating and changing things based off your guys' feedback. So please, if you're watching this video, drop a comment for me. Tell me how I can improve this tier list in your opinion. Tell me what you would like to see. Tell me what you agree with. Tell me what you disagree with. Your feedback is only going to make this tier list better. And this tier list is not just mine. It's ours. It's our channel tier list. Maybe this first iteration this year is a little bit more mine, but by the end of the year, it's going to be our channel tier list. And I'm really excited to see how far it goes. So, and just before we get into anything, a couple more disclaimers. This is a tier list. This is a rough guide on offensive champion usage. This doesn't really take into account defensive abilities. And it's a rough guide on champs you should rank up, champs you should be hyped that you pull, champs you should maybe be a little more disappointed when you pull. And every champ has something unique about them, all right? So don't forget that. Just like every single human being has something unique about them. That makes us all different. And we all have some sort of use, some sort. In this game, some champs are pretty rough, which we'll talk about with the new tiers. And before we get into that, I just want to talk about the emojis. So a lot of you guys have been requesting for a long time some symbols on the tier list. So we finally got that incorporated, and we're starting off with 5 emojis. So here I have a little legend just to keep track of it. So we have a mechanical muscle, so that just means they need that awakened ability. They really want that awakened ability to be a good champion. Next we have a man, a woman, and a child, which is synergy reliance. So this is if a champion is really reliant on synergy, like you bring this champion to Alliance War and you also get assigned their synergy partner. Typically that's what this means. So when you think of Omega Red, when you see someone using Omega Red in Alliance War, they also have the Sabertooth synergy. It's not needed, but you rely on that synergy. It's not needed, but reliance. So that's that icon. And then next up, we have a little graph just going up, and that just means a high sig level. So these are champions that really benefit from having an extremely high signature level, 150 to 200. And then the next one, we have a ninja cat. This one is my favorite. And this is just skills to play. So champions like Nebula, like Hela, that have these unique play styles, that it can be a really big payoff if you play them correctly. And then here we have a hammer. And this just means it requires buildup. So like Aegon, he has 2 of these hammers because he requires the most buildup in the entire game. So that's these. Now let's go ahead and shift this over. So we also have some new tiers. And so that is the Omnipotent tier, which is triple S. So this is the absolute highest tier of the game. And these champions are 6-star, rank 5 worthy, but more on that later. And then the second highest tier, SS, we have the Celestial tier. These champions are easily worth 6-star rank 4. Then we have God tier. I want the God tier. Originally, I had got this tier as God tier and this one as Celestial, but I decided to change it a little bit. But I want the God tier to be more how it used to be, so more respect when a champion is called a God tier, Then we have the Solid tier, just A tier. These champions are solid. They have uses. They're good in a lot of situations. And then we have the B tier, the outdated tier. So these are barely any uses. They can do some stuff, but really not much. And then we get to the final tier, the trash tier. These are the champions that are basically useless, that are in dire desperation need of a buff. It's bad. And so that is the real changes. Now let's go ahead and get into the tier list and start with the Mystic class. Alright guys, now we're getting into the Mystic part of this tier list, and I want to touch upon a little bit more of this 6-star rank 5 worthiness and the whole new tier of the Omnipotent and Triple S. So this is like highest tier. These are the best of the best champions in their class and the only considerations for rank 5. And I think it's a perfect time to introduce this type of new tier, because we have just now finally seen the first ever 6-star rank 5s in the game, which Magus has 2 of them already, one being Scorpion and one being Nick Fury. So these are the champions that I personally believe at this point in the contest, January 2023, that are worth the 6-star rank 5 level. And so in the Mystic class, that is Dr. Doom. This is a no-brainer. We all know Dr. Doom, king of the Mystic class. We all know how good he is. Prestige, he's got everything. Offense, defense, you name it, he's got it. And then we have Rintrah. Now, Rintrah has really been growing on me ever since I got him. I finally see how good he actually is. I see what Karate Mike has been saying. I see what a lot of other people have been saying. And just, like, I think of Rintrah as, like, Doom 2.0. Like, the new version of Doom. Like, he's got the neutralize now. Still a tank on offense, defense. Like, I love Rintrah. And I think him as, like, I never before considered taking another champ to rank 5 as my first Mystic. Like, it was always Doom. But now, like, Rintrah, I have to actually think about it. Like, which one am I going to take to rank 5 first, Doom or Rintrah? And I don't know, because they're both worth it. They're both so good. So I don't know. And then, so originally I just had those 2 in here, but then I decided to put Tiger in here as well. This is not for me. This is the only, well, I'd say there's like 2 champions I have listed in this tier that I would just personally definitely not rank 5, just because I have my own reasons, but I cannot deny how powerful they are. So they are still in this tier. So that should speak volumes to how powerful they are. And Tigra is that powerful. She is. But as you can see, we have the Ninja Cat icon here, which means skills to play. And I'd say Tigra has one of the highest skill caps in all of the game for any champion. So, like, yeah. If you're really good with Tigra, she's worth rank 5. But if you suck with Tigra, she's not worth rank 5. And I suck with Tigra, so that's why I'll never take her to rank 5. And she also definitely wants to be awakened, and you also definitely want high sig, because then your senses are going to last a lot longer. So those are the only 3 Mystic champs in the game that I think currently are worth 6-star rank 5. Yeah. Now, as far as like top considerations to be in this tier, Juggernaut is honestly a little tempting. I just took Jugs to rank 3. I cannot wait to play him in the next Battlegrounds meta. He's going to be such a monster for the whole month. For the victory track meta, and then for tournaments, he's just going to be a monster. I'm really thinking about taking Jugs as one of my next rank 4s, and honestly, maybe even rank 5 eventually. I don't know. I really like Jugs. And also, the only other champ I would maybe think like Magic. If she ever did get released as a 6-star rank 5 Magic would be just insane. And that's the only icon that I don't have listed on the legend, but just a lock means 5-star locked. And there's only, I think, 3 champions on the list that have that, so really not much. But yeah, and then we have Diablo and Clairvoyant here with the little skull, and that means, I guess I didn't include this one over in the legend. I'll have to do that. Let's actually do that right now. So yeah, that's one we missed. But yeah, just I think that this was the last icon I added, that's why I didn't have it included in the legend. But just a reliance on the recoil mastery. So these are champions that you just really don't want to play unless you have the suicide mastery, the recoil tree fully enabled. And that is Diablo and Clairvoyant in the Mystic class. These 2 are just such heavily suicide friendly champs. Like, I don't want to play either of these champions if I'm not running those masteries, you know. So yeah, but I do think both of them are absolutely incredible with those specific masteries. And we got Wiccan up in this tier. I think I've seen so many good things of Wiccan lately, fighting Alliance War bosses, just fighting champs in Battlegrounds. Like, he just seems like an absolute beast. So he makes it into the Celestial tier. And then Mystic Spidey, this is one I definitely want to hear more on from you guys. I switched it 3 times, from this tier to this tier to this tier to this tier. I'm really not sure where to put him. So I really would love your guys' feedback on Mystic Spider-Man. Do you think he should be in God tier or Celestial tier or even higher? Let me know on Mystic Spidey. That's one I've really been thinking about. And then Mordo. Originally I had Mordo here, and then I promoted him I've seen some really crazy stuff from Mordo, from that buff. I haven't really played the buff version myself, but from what I've seen, it is incredible. So maybe I need to start trying them myself. And then we got Morningstar here with the little hammer, because, you know, once Morningstar is fully built up at 5 souls, she is incredible. But the build up is a pain in the butt, and you definitely want her awakened, because that significantly speeds up the build up, because you start with the charge. So yeah. That's Morningstar. And also, guys, like throughout this entire tier list, I really mainly looked at the top 3 tiers to really do a lot of these icons. So there are going to be champions that need the icons in the lower tiers, and I'm really hoping you guys help me out with that as well. So let me know in the comment section, you know, which champions need more of these icons. I try to do a lot, but I don't know everything in this game. I do know a lot, but I don't know everything. And so yeah, if you guys think a certain champion needs an icon, go ahead, let me know in the comments. And yes, this is the Mystic class. So I feel like it's looking, you know, pretty good. We got Mojo over here in solid tier. He could maybe be higher, but I think Mojo is a really solid champ. And at Sig 200, he gets a big Fury buff, so that makes him hit a lot harder. That's why you definitely want a high Sig. With Mojo. And with Mephisto, he has some actually pretty incredible synergies. If you have a full synergy team dedicated to Mephisto, he can actually pump out some pretty impressive damage. And then we just have the 3 duds of the Mystic class, and those are both Iron Fists. I really want to see an Iron Fist buff. I want to see that so badly. To both of them too, Immortal and regular. And then Unstoppable Colossus, it's just trash. Unstoppable Colossus is basically pre-buff Colossus and pre-buff Juggernaut put together. He needs to become post-buff Colossus and post-buff Juggernaut put together. Imagine how sick that would be on Unstoppable. That would actually make him worth the 1.5 million loyalty or whatever it costs. That'd actually be worth. So yeah, Unstoppable Colossus or Iron Fist, they really need a buff badly. All right, let's go ahead and move on now to the Mutant class. And I only have 1 champion listed in the Omnipotent tier. There's only 1 mutant champion right now that personally I would rank 5, and that's Kitty. Yeah, it's just like I just can't really see myself taking any of these other mutants to rank 5. I feel like Apocalypse. There's so many people taking Apocalypse to rank 4, like a year ago, or like last year. At like the start of the year, but then towards the end of the year, once rank 4s became a lot more available, I feel like a lot less Apocalypses were getting ranked up, if that makes any kind of sense. And I think the reason for that, if I had to guess on why that is, I think it's just because Battlegrounds. You know, Apocalypse, he's not that good in Battlegrounds. He's okay on defense and he's okay on attack. You know, like he's not incredible on either. In the right meta, like for example with kinetic transference, you know, he can be a lot better on defense. If people don't know how to evade his special attacks, they're going to take that on the block, and then he's going to get more power, and they're just going to be in a loop. But I just don't really see anybody talking about Apocalypse anymore. I don't see anybody really ranking him. I don't see anybody really using him. Like, I don't know. I don't really see a lot of love for him anymore, which is kind of odd. And myself too, like I thought I was going to have a rank 4 APOC within like my first 20 rank 4s. Still don't, and I just don't see the need to take him up either. So I can't see myself even rank 4ing Apocalypse, let alone taking him to rank 5. So I just don't see it. And Omega Red, like maybe, but his prestige is so bad. I just can't see him being one of like the first rank 5s that I would go for personally. Just no. I think the Mutant class is really in need of some more new champs, because if you look at a lot of the, not a lot, but some champs that you're going to see later on in this tier, a lot of it is new champs. Like Rintrah was a new champ. We got Scorpion and Quicksilver for the Science, even though we're not on that part yet, but those are both champs that came out in 2022. And the only 2022 mutants we had were Captain Britain, Toad, and Sauron. And I actually think Toad could maybe get a promotion. You know, I think I'm actually going to give Toad a promotion right now. Yeah. think I will do that. Let me know what you guys think about that. We just did a live promotion mid-video. Do you guys think Toad deserves Celestial Tier? Honestly, I think he does. I think he was definitely by far the best mutant of 2022. But still, like, it's questionable whether he's God Tier or Celestial Tier, in my opinion. But I think he could make it here. But, like, that was the best mutant we had in 2022, you know? Like, we really need some better mutants 2023. Some mutants that are going to wow us and just be, like, go into this tier, you know? And we did get a teaser that there is going to be a really powerful mutant hero coming in 2023. Someone that's going to really help take down Galactus in the storyline. So I hope we get a crazy mutant banger this year, and they make it into this omnipotent tier. But for now, I just got Kitty there. Yeah, we got Domino up in the Celestial tier with the Red Hulk synergy. Yeah, her damage output is absurd with that synergy, and with Massacre on the team as well. We got White Magneto and Red Magneto in here. White Magneto is not as good as Red Magneto. I'm not saying he's as good. You know, like, if you're in a fight and you're playing them both against Middle Champ, like, Red Magneto's better. 100%. No one's disagreeing with that. But White Magneto is still really good. He's great at countering Middle Champs. He's not as good as Red Magneto, but no one is as good as Red Magneto at countering Metal Champs. But White Magneto is probably second or third. And he has Guidance, one of the absolute best pre-fights in the entire game. Like, Guidance is so powerful. Like, if you look in Alliance War, like, you look at the stats, I bet you White Magneto is brought to high tier war more than Red Magneto. And why is that? It's not because White Magneto's better. It's just because of Guidance. And that's how good Guidance is, that it makes him actually brought to the highest, most competitive tier of gameplay more than Red Magneto, just because his Guidance is that good. So yeah, I think White Magneto and Red Magneto deserve to be in the same tier, for sure. We got Professor X in here with the Ninja Cat, because high skill to play Professor X. And then Omega Red has 4 of the emojis. You want Synergy with Sabretooth. You definitely want Max or High Sig. You definitely need to be Awakened. And you definitely want to be running Recoil and Bleed and Poison. Because Omega Red's immune to Poison and 90% resistant to Bleed. And you start with the Death Field. So, like, Omega Red, he has a lot of, like, little things. But if you have him all fully set up, he is just an absolute monster. And then, yeah, in the outdated tier, we got 3 of the 4 Deadpools. Platinum Pool's a little better in the solid tier, but man, all these Deadpools are getting so outdated these days. And then we have the Mutant Trash, and that's both Cyclopses, Red and Blue, and Beast. These 3 mutants just suck so much. Like, there's not, like, a good thing I can really say about any of them. Beast has, like, a certain playstyle that if you play him a certain way, he's actually okay, but I don't know how to play him that way. I would never bother to even learn. And both these Cyclopses are just so trash. Like, it's just crazy. And man, Mike loves them. So yeah, we really need some Cyclops buffs, both of them, like the Magneto's got. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the mutant class. Let's go ahead and move on to science. Alright guys, we are moving on to the science class, and so I already kind of teased who we had here, but yeah, that's Scorpion and Quicksilver. So in the current state of MCOC, these are the only 2 science champs that I would guaranteed have, like, no reservations taking to rank 5 as a 6-star. Scorpion, because he is the best science champ in the game. No debate, honestly. Well, maybe a little debate, but, like, he's just so damn good. Scorpion, the ability to just change your immunities and change your damage the way he can, and just with how much versatility those, like, shock, poison, and rupture have, it's absurd, especially looking at the Mystic class and just what he can counter. And it's so good. Scorpion is so goddamn good. It blows my mind, and it honestly makes sense that he was the first ever 6-star rank 5 that we've seen, because he's that good. Like, it didn't surprise me when I saw that. I saw it, I'm like, yeah, if I had to pick one science champ to take to rank 5, I would also pick Scorpion, 100%. Because he's that good. And then second, we have Quicksilver. Quicksilver, I would take to rank 5, especially because he does have the second highest prestige in the game, and he also is really good. But I think I would just take lean Scorpion. But you could go either. I'd say like if you're a little bit more focused on prestige, then yeah, you'd probably go Quicksilver. Yeah, but I only had those two listed for science. Spot is a consideration though. I've heard and seen some really incredible things from Spot. I think he could move here within the next couple of months. I could definitely see Spot moving up. I'm really, really keen to get him out of the next featured. I think he's the champ I'm most looking for. And yeah, I think I'm definitely going to take Spot to rank 4 pretty soon after I get him. And Sig 200, and yeah, I think he's going to be an absolute monster in Battlegrounds. And I think Spot has potential to move up. But for now, I'm going to leave him in the Celestial tier. I think that's a fine spot for him. And, these champs didn't change too much from the last tier list. This is, just some of the absolute best science champs. Titania is in consideration for this tier, especially because we got the Ninja Cat. So, like, if you're really good at playing Titania, high skill, she can be so good. And if you time her haymakers correctly, just unblockable, indestructible, and unstoppable all at once, like that's the best possible combo of effects, and their passive effects as well to have. Like it's absurd, that haymaker. So if you time it right, you play her well, she can really do insane things. And we got a thing here. Of course, you want to be Awakened and Max Sig to get that full protection. Void, and then Jessica Jones as well. So I put her in the God tier. If this was a defensive tier list, Jessica Jones would be up here. I think she has potential to be one of the best defenders in MCOC. I genuinely believe that. That's why I've wanted her so bad from the banquet event. Fortunately, I just never pulled her, even as a 5-star, but I wouldn't care for 5-star anyways. I want a 6-star. Because I would 100% take her to 6-star rank 4 next if I pulled her. I think she's that good on defense. On offense, a little slower, it requires some build up, but I still think she's really awesome on offense, and I think there is potential for Jessica Jones to also be moved here. I just think it's a bit premature for that, so I'm just putting her in God tier. And then yeah, we got Spider-Gwen and Miles up in God tier as well. As we move down to the solid tier, we got Ant-Man, Red Guardian, 2 buff immune champs, Wasp, Yellow Jacket, and Luke Cage. These champions aren't garbage, they're good, but I don't think I'd use a single one of these champions over these champs in 90% of scenarios, and then we have the outdated tier. We got Abomination here with a synergy though. Abomination, I know with the Red Guardian synergy is actually pretty solid. That is nice, but without that synergy, he's just so trash. He's so outdated, and yeah, he's just the old version of Immortal Abomination. Some champs kind of get shafted like that. Then we have Sentry. Sentry really needs a buff, but he's not garbage. Like, an old YouTuber named Idealist used to actually bring Sentry to war, and he made it work. Like, Sentry, he's not garbage. He's okay, but he's just not nearly what Sentry should be. He definitely does not have the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. Not even close to that. Gladiator Hulk, so outdated. He can counter passive degen and passive effects, and that's about it. And there's other champs that do it way better anyways, like Kitty Pryde and Hercules. So he's so outdated. Visible Woman, by far the worst member of the Fantastic Four, and just not what she should be. Invisible Woman, I really thought she was going to be like... I think the problem with Invisible Woman was I think she was the first invisible type champion to come out after Ghost. And so I think Kabam was really scared to make Ghost 2.0 with Invisible Woman. And that's why, like when you think of Invisible Woman, like you should be able to go invisible and use that mid-fight. But no, like your invisibility, it runs out. And like you can't use it nearly as much as you would want to use it. And it's just, and the force fields aren't as good as they could be either. It's just, Invisible Woman really needs a buff. She really does. I think she has so much potential. I'd really love to see a buff on her. But she's not trash. Like, she's okay. She hits decent. She has some uses. Her shield is kind of nice to negate some damage, but it's not nearly as good as it should be. And then Electro. Electro is just a unique champ that is mainly for defensive purposes, that you hit him, you take damage. You could also use a bit of a buff these days. And then the trash tier, we got MODOK, Hulk, the Captain Americas, Rhino, and the OG Spider-Man. But the good news is, Hulk and this Spider-Man are both getting buffs. So hopefully by the next tier list, both of them move up a fair bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the tech class. Alright guys, moving on to the tech class. You might find this really crazy, but I only have one champion in here, and that's Nimrod. And you're going to be saying, Legacy, why don't you have Ghost there? Why don't you have Omega Sentinel there? Why don't you have Iron Doom there? Why don't you have Warlock there? These are all incredible tech champions. And yes, I agree, they are all incredible tech champions. I think Ghost is better than Nimrod with full synergies for sure. But the thing is, I would not be taking these champions to rank 5 as a 6-star. Myself, personally. I just would not be. They like the only tech champion I would take to rank 5 is Nimrod. He's the only one. I have a rank 4 C200 Omega Sentinel. I like her. I think she's great. But Nimrod is so much simpler and easier to play, and it's very nice. And especially in a place like Battlegrounds, you know, you don't want to have a convoluted strategy and play style. You know, you just don't. Especially against certain matchups, certain metas, certain champions. Like, you don't. You just want a simple, crazy good champ. And that is Nimrod. Like, that is just Nimrod to a T. He's so simple. He's so good. It just destroys mutants. And, yeah, personally, he's the only tech champ that I'd want to take to rank 5 right now. Right now. In a few months, you know, okay, once rank 5s, maybe they're more available. Maybe we can add some more champs here. I could see Omega Sentinel maybe being added here. Maybe Iron Doom being added here, mainly for prestige purposes, though, not for how good of a champion he is. But I could see Iron Doom being taken to rank 5 just because he's the highest prestige champ. Penny Parker, I could see her. I could see myself taking Penny Parker to rank 5 because she's so good offensively and defensively. But, I don't know, Warlock, I don't know, Ghost, I don't even want to take Ghost to rank 4. I just don't. I think she's good enough at rank 3. Personally, like, having rank 4 Ghost does not excite me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Like, I feel like having a rank 4 Ghost without recoil wouldn't even be as good as having a rank 3 Ghost with recoil. And when I think about it that way, I'm like, what's the point? Why should I take Ghost to rank 4? I just, no. So, like, I just could not, I just could not put Ghost here because I don't even want to take her to rank 4. I sure as hell don't want to take her to rank 5 because she's so good, she doesn't need it. In my opinion, that's my thinking. That's how I look at this, especially when it comes to rank 5s. So I just have I just have Nimrod here. I don't know. This definitely will change within the next couple tier lists, but for now, I just wanted to leave it at Nimrod because honestly, I think Nimrod can kind of be regarded as the best tech champ these days. I think we can. Yeah, I think we can. And then in the god tier, you know, we got Stark Spidey. He does require some build up. You got use dexterity 10 times. Boom, then you're good to go with max poise. Hulkbuster. He does require some skill to play because Hulkbuster has a very unique playstyle, and he has a very short reach on his heavy attack. So that can kind of make it harder to play him. But if you play Hulkbuster correctly, big payoff. You may have Sam Wilson, Captain America. You definitely want to have high sig with him. It is extremely beneficial. And we have Nebula with Ninja Cat, because if you play her... when I play Nebula, like, I just hold block and take block damage and build her up that way. Obviously, that's not what you should do. You should try to take no block damage and still build your charges. That's why I take skill to play. Geetha 2099, she's great, but she requires build up. You have to get to a 100-hit combo just to start really dealing her damage. So yeah. And then Mysterio, with Synergy Icon, his synergy actually with Penny Parker lets him just apply an absurd amount of poison damage. It's pretty nice. Silver Centurion, this guy's a beast, and you definitely want him awakened. And then Rocket Raccoon and Howard the Duck, two technological animals that have been buffed, and they're actually pretty good. I really like Rocket's buff. I don't have nearly as much experience with the Howard buff, but I got my butt kicked by Karate Mike, and he used Howard the Duck to kick my butt. So for that reason and that reason alone, he's been promoted. Darkhawk, you definitely want high sig on Darkhawk. If you get high sig on Darkhawk, he's actually a beast. And he's really annoying to fight on defense. And then both the Visions, they're solid, but you definitely want high sig on them. Kang, he's a bit outdated. He does have a nice synergy to give him some Furies, but that's about it. He could definitely use a buff. Star-Lord, he's so outdated these days. He did just get a synergy to change his elemental gun, so I guess I should probably put the synergy sign for him. But that's not going to make me start playing Star-Lord. I think he really needs a way to carry over some combo that he builds into the next fight, like what Aegon can do. If Star-Lord can get that, then he'll maybe actually be relevant. And then Ultron Prime, this dude's 5-star locked from Labyrinth of Legends. Green Goblin, and then the three trash of the tech class. Psycho Man. Maybe Psycho Man can even be here. I don't know. I just personally really hate Psycho Man, so I put him in the trash tier. And Iron Man and Iron Patriot just suck so much. Just two of the worst champs in MCOC. They are down horrendous. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the skill class. All right, guys, so we're counting down now towards the end. Let's talk about the skill class. We got 3 champions listed here, and that is Nick Fury, Valkyrie, and Kingpin. So Nick Fury is a no-brainer. I think Nick Fury is the best skill champ in the game. I have him at rank 4, and I absolutely am just, when I first did it, I was in love. And what I was thinking is, why didn't I do this sooner? Nick Fury is 100,000,000% going to be my first rank 5 skill champion. He just is. Unless there's some 2023 champ that is just absurd. It's definitely going to be Nick Fury. And then we have Valkyrie and Kingpin. Now, Valkyrie, I feel like her stock has literally just been on the rise. That's what I think of when I see this icon, too. But yeah, you definitely want max Sig with Valkyrie. You get her Sig 200, she becomes the absolute best unstoppable counter in the entire game. Which is a pretty big flex. She is just incredible. We've seen a lot of really good stuff with Valkyrie lately. And she also has the prestige. I think she's worth rank 5. I can definitely see people taking Valkyrie to rank 5. She is a beast, man. She really is. She can counter so much just through hitting through the block. That unique niche utility is just insane. Like, I've seen Valkyrie take Gallon bosses in war because she just hits the block. Like, it's pretty absurd. Maybe I should actually also include this to her as well, actually, because she does take some skill to play, and it is a bit of a unique play style. And then we have Kingpin. Kingpin is an absolute unit, literally and figuratively. One of just the best skill champs in all of MCOC, and fully synergized, he can be argued that he is the best. Like, it's absurd. Fully synergized Kingpin. I've seen him in war. He just crushes everything. So I could definitely see Kingpin being taken to rank 5. Got Aegon here, top of Celestial tier. Aegon's a beast, but in Abyss and Labyrinth. But I am hopeful that there is new Everest content this year, so that'd be awesome. But you definitely want Aegon Awakened. You definitely want him high Sig, so you just lower amount of, so you can carry over your combo easier. And then 2 hammers, because he requires the most build-up in the game. We got Crossbones, high Sig. He's shrugging off debuff at like a 90% rate. Super nice. Shang-Chi. Let me know if you guys think Shang-Chi could maybe move to this tier. I don't know. I don't really see people using Shang-Chi much these days. I really don't. And I feel like Shang-Chi could be here. I don't know. I don't feel like he's that meta relevant. And we got Agent Venom here with 3 synergy icons because he is the most synergy reliant character. Without synergies, he's trash. With synergies, he's in the Celestial tier. It's crazy. You can even be argued he could be in a higher tier. But with the amount of synergy reliance, he needs synergies. He's not relying on them. He is in dire need. He's garbage without them. So, but with them, he's pretty good. Blade's a beast, man. You definitely want Blade Awakened. Any Sig's fine, and then you're going to have some of the best and most controllable regen in the game. And Blade has some really incredible synergies that lets him expand his danger sense from dimensional beings to also all villains and all mystic champions, which is pretty damn nice. And then we got Hitmonkey here. You definitely want to be running the recoil tree if you're using Hitmonkey. He's basically skill Corvus, so same logic applies there. Black Cat, got the Ninja Cat, because Black Cat, I think Black Cat is an absolute monster and a little bit misunderstood. But yeah, if you play her right and in the right matchups, she is just absurd. The damage she can get from her when she fails abilities, even on against bleed immunes, can be so monumental. And then if you have a matchup where they can be bled and you can turn off and you can counter their abilities and deal damage for that, that's what makes her so good against Labyrinth Red Hulk. She set the world record on that fight because she's able to have class advantage, bleed him, and take advantage of bypassing abilities. So in those perfect ideal scenarios, she just is one of one of the best counters, and it's awesome. But she definitely takes some skill to play. And then we got Mantis here. She requires some build up, but I don't think her build up's that bad, and it's a lot more controllable because you can kind of coerce the AI into manipulating the AI into doing what you want. So I do think Mantis is pretty beastly. I put her in the Celestial tier. Maybe she only belongs God tier. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Might be a bit premature, but we'll see. And then yeah, we got Stealth Spidey with the Scorpion synergy. He is pretty beastly. Lets him kind of like power control champs. Maybe he can even go higher with that synergy. I don't know. Misty Knight, definitely want her awakened. Killmonger, definitely want him awakened, and a higher Sig. Black Panther OG, he can be pretty beastly, man. I've seen Not Horny do some cool things with him. We definitely want to be skilled, definitely want to be going for intercepts when playing him. Then we got Elsa and Atuma, definitely also want those guys awakened and high Sig. We got Korg. He's got some good synergies that actually lets him hit pretty hard, and you definitely want high Sig on Korg. Higher the Sig, the better, the more damage they're going to take when you get hit. And then, yeah, I got some outdated champs. Black Widow. Oh, man. OG Black Widow used to be one of the top 5 best champs in all of MCOC until she got nerfed, which is really unfortunate. She basically used to counter ability accuracy with 100% at max Sig, which is just absurd. So yeah, I'd really love if she got a buff. She's definitely outdated, but yeah, with max Sig, you know, she still can counter ability accuracy with like, I think with like 70% or something more with class advantage. And then the 3 garbage champs for skill: Black Panther Civil War, which is confirmed to be getting a buff at some point. We don't know when. Then Moon Knight. Moon Knight really should have gotten a buff during his show. And then Winter Soldier. He should have got a buff during his show as well. Or during like Endgame when he got his vibranium arm. So yeah, these champs all need buffs. That's the skill class. Let's go ahead and move on to the Cosmic class. Alright guys, so Cosmic class. This should not be anything new. Gallon and Hulkling. Top of the Cosmic class. Absolute top options for rank 5. The current 2 champs that I'm really considering, like which one's going to be my first rank 5, you know, if I could pick, like if class types allow. It's between Gallon and Hulkling. And I honestly, I'm not even sure which one. I'm leaning Gallon, but they're both so goddamn good anywhere. Like defense, offense, questing, anywhere you bring these champions, they're gonna be good. I love just always bringing them on my team anywhere I go. If I have them available, I like to just bring them on my team. And both are just so good. Both don't need a specific mastery setup. Neither need to be really awakened. Neither need to be high Sig. Neither need any kind of synergy reliance. Neither need skill to play. Neither needs build up. Like, they're just so good in like any and every situation. Gallon and Hulkling, man. Just, I think 2 of the absolute best options for rank 5, for sure. Then we got Hercules and Null as well. Hercules, one of arguably best champ like in the game, dude. He's so goddamn good. You definitely want to be running recoil with Hercules though. If you're not running recoil with Hercules, what are you doing? You definitely also need Hercules Awakened for him to be so good, to have access to that immortality, and you definitely want him high Sig so that it lasts as long as it possibly can. And then we have Null as well. You definitely want to be running the recoil tree with Null because he can just heal so much from it. Him and Hercules both, but Null even more so. And Null as well, you definitely want him to have high Sig because that's going to make him much better in shorter fights because you're able to just ramp so much faster. If your Null's not awakened, then should have the hammer icon here because then it's going to take more ramp. And then we move on to the Celestial tier. We have Cosmic Ghost Rider and Hyperion. I think both of these Cosmic Champions are a bit of a step above the rest here, but they're just not as good as these Cosmic Champions. In my opinion, these champions can just do so much more versatility. And just, I would never, I don't even have Cosmic Ghost Rider at rank 4 because, again, it's like Ghost. He doesn't need it. He's so good at rank 3. His damage output is already so strong. It's totally fine at rank 3. And Hyperion, I don't know. Hyperion, I think I would take him to rank 4, but I just would not take him to rank 5. Not for a long time. Cersei, though. Cersei, honestly, is really good, too. And, I mean, if someone took Cersei in rank 5, like, I'd respect it. I would, because she is really, really good on defense. She's better on defense than I think she is on offense, but she's still pretty solid on offense. And this is an offensive tier list. Then we got Cat Marvel movie, Synergy Reliance with Nick Fury. That synergy is incredible for her. Corvus Glaive, you definitely want to be running recoil, and you definitely want to be awakened for that crazy awakened ability. King Groot. King Groot's a beast, but again, you definitely want him awake. You definitely want him high sig. Then your regen's going to be insane. You're going to be near immortal. Got Gore here. This is post-buff Gore, though. From what I've tested, I think Gore is looking really, really good after that buff, and I definitely put him in the Celestial tier post-buff. But you definitely want Gore awakened. But the good thing is, before you wanted Gore like super high sig. Now, after this buff, his old sig 200 ability, he's getting that at sig 20 now, so he doesn't need high sig anymore. And yeah, so just awaken. He's chilling. And then Angela, you definitely want Angela awaken. And the higher the sig, she becomes a crazier counter to damaging debuffs, which is really, really sick. And then Hela, I absolutely hate Hela. I would put her in like this tier or something, but yeah, in the right hands with that Ninja Cat, really skilled hands, she can be absolutely insane. With also though with a synergy. I don't even remember who the synergy's with, but yeah, she has an absolutely crazy synergy, and if you can play her to her full potential, she deserves Celestial tier. But you also, whoops, I just got rid of her. You also want her awakened, because then you get an indestructible when you would die, which is a really nice ability. And then God tiers, we got Medusa, Arcus, really two of the best robot counters in the game. Arcus with a synergy basically expands countering robots to anyone who's metal, which is a really, really sick synergy. I love that. We got Surfer, you definitely want Surfer at a higher sig. Odin, awaken higher sig. The champion, he has a really sick synergy with Titania. Proxima Midnight, she requires an absurd amount of build up and some skill to play. With some intercepting to help build her up. Club Obsidian also requires some build up, but once you build them up, some of the best damage in the game. Red Goblin, he's got some really nice synergies. And Terrax, I originally had Terrax here. Let me know if you guys think I should promote Terrax, but yeah, definitely want Terrax awakened and higher sig. And we got the solid tier Heimdall. He's only here because of his synergies. This synergy icon is literally just because he is a synergy champion essentially, but it is one of the best synergies in the game, so you can't knock it. Ronan, Ronan's actually a beast in the right scenarios. Against a lot of buffs, he is just absurd. He can just unlock the opponent perpetually. But you definitely need him awakened high sig to be doing that, and to be doing it well. You get a lot more damage, I believe, through the sig, more buffs. And then Thor's a beast. Definitely not as good as he used to be. But at sig 200, he's going to get the most out of his armor breaks and Fury, and he's actually going to be hitting pretty hard. So yeah, that, and then for the duds, we got Groot, Superior Iron Man, Captain Marvel Classic, Miss Marvel, and Drax. Not Kamala Khan, though, Swadia. She's not trash. I didn't call her trash. I didn't call Thanos trash either, because I took him to rank 4. And hopefully, he works in defense. But yeah, Groot, Superior Iron Man, and the Captain Marvels and Drax, just so garbage. They are in dire need of a buff. They are in dire need. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this tier list. The brand new revamped tier list. Let me know what you guys think of it. I really need a lot of help on this one, so please leave comments. What can I change? What can I add? Who needs more icons? Who should be demoted? Who should be promoted? What do you think of the format? All feedback is appreciated. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. I really hope you guys like it, and even if you maybe don't like this first iteration, I'm sure we're going to be able to make it a lot better, and I'm sure by the end of the year you'll like it more. So that's going to do it for this tier list video, guys. The first one of 2023, and 11 more to come this year. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. And a link to the tier list will be in the description if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. Peace.